ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome you to this e-yatra of Avantika Dham, Ujjain Avantika Dham. And today we'll be looking at different pastime places of and the glories of this dham. And first we will be dedicating this yatra to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, who broadcasted this the true glories of Ujjain in all the corners of the world. And so this first, this is Purushottam Mass, and it is mentioned in the scriptures how it is important to visit holy places and hear about holy places and perform snan there. And these are all considered very favorable for our devotional service. So Avantika Dham or Ujjain Dham is very famous for three things. So mainly we will be focusing on these aspects, that there is Mahakaleshwar Mahadev Mandir and why this place is called Ujjaini, and then the kings who ruled in this region. So first of all, it is very great place right inside the Jambu Dweep. The most important place is Bharatavarsha, because here all the demigods also pray that may they have birth here. Even one kalpa in Brahmaloka is not compared with one moment lived in Bharatavarsha. And in that Bharatavarsha, there is this place. There are so many holy places, and one of the most important holy places is this Ujjain Avantika Dham. So this Ujjain Dham or Avantika Dham, it is one of the 7 Moksha Puris. Moksha Puris means the places which grant liberation to the one who is residing here or visiting here or taking bath in the river here. So what are those 7 places which award liberation? Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika, Dwaravati cha iti, Sapta Mokshadayini Smrita. So there are 7 these places which grant liberation. Ayodhya Dham, we all of us know, the birthplace and the kingdom of Lord Ram. Mathura Dham, where Lord Krishna appeared. Maya Dham is actually Haridwar. Kashi, all of us know. Kanchi is in South India. And Avantika is the one dham that we are going to glorify today. And Dwaravati is Dwaraka. So these 7 are called Mokshadaini. That means the places which grant liberation. So, and in that, it is mentioned that there is also, this place is also very famous because in the churning of milk ocean, there was nectar produced. And when that pot was being carried, few drops of that nectar fell in this Avantika Ujjain Dham. So the Dham is all the more glorious because even Kumbha Snan happens here. And this is also one of the 51 Shakti Pithas, and this is also one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. Shakti Pithas are places of the Shakti, wife of Lord Shiva, and Jyotirlingas are the special residential places of Lord Mahadev. Also, this place is very much famous for being ruled by Vikramaditya, and the Mahakavi Kalidas also resided here. So 5 things are very prominent in this Avanti Dham. Shamashanam, Usharam, Vanam, Kshetram, Peetham cha, Panchetana Vidyate, Mahakalapura Dhrita. There is one Mahakala one here, which is also known as Shamashan. Then there is Ushara Kshetra. Ushara means a barren place where if you put a seed, it doesn't grow. So similarly, one who comes here will not take birth again in this material world. Then it is called Vanam, Peetham because it's one of the Shakti Peeth. Kshetram, it is called because all one's sins get eradicated just by visiting this place. And there are so many names of Avantika. And the meaning of Avantika, Avanti Dham, the root meaning comes from Avanti Palayanti Bhutani Yatra Sa Avantika. It means that where all living entities are very nicely nourished and taken care of, that place is called Avantika. And so when the Avanti, that there is long E, Avanti, then it means it acts as Rakshana Kartri, means it is also a protector. Not only it gives nourishment to all living entities, but it can give protection to all living beings through its forest, through its herbal plants, and also Lord Shiva personally resides here and he protects this place from the attack of demons, and therefore this is called as Avanti. Also, this is called place is called Ujjain. The root meaning of Ujjain is Ujjito Danavo Yasmat Sa Ujjain, Ujjaini. That means where all the demons are defeated. Therefore, the place is called Ujjain. Also, this place is called Kushasthali because Lord Vishnu, he he sat on Kushasana. That means a seat made up of Kusha grass, and from there he instructed Brahma how to create this world further, and therefore this place is also called as Kushakstali. This place is also called as Padmavati because Mother Lakshmi, who was born from churning of milk ocean, she was told to reside in this place, and therefore this place is also residential place of Mother Lakshmi. Therefore, it is called as Padmavati. Also, this place is called as Kumudvati because many lotuses grow here. Also, this place is called as Amaravati because people here they live as if living in heavenly planets. Therefore, Amaravati. Even Marichi and Kashyap found that this place as good as heavens. Therefore, it is called as Amaravati. This place is also called as Vishala. Vishala because this place is so expansive. Vishal, they say. Also, this place is known as Pratikalpa. Pratikalpa because after every kalpa there is a dissolution, but in that dissolution, Avantika Dham is not dissolved, it remains as it is, and therefore it is called as Pratikalpa. Also, place is known as Kanakashrunga because a palace is made for Lord Shiva, where the the top of that palace was made up of gold. Therefore, it is called as Kanakashringa. And also, why this place is called as Avanti? Because Kartavir Arjun in Yadu dynasty, he had 2 sons. One of the sons' name was Avanti, who ruled here, and therefore this place was called Avantika. And another of his son, his name is Mahishmati, and he ruled near bank of Mother Narmada, and therefore that place was called as Mahishmatipura. And historically, this place, many historical persons come from this place. Like in Mahabharat, there is Vinda and Arvinda who fought against Pandavas, came from this place, Avantika. Also, their sister, whose name is Mitravinda, she became wife of Krishna, one of the 8 principal queens of Krishna. And also Ashwathama the elephant, who was brought in Kurukshetra, and Krishna told Bhima to kill Ashwathama the elephant, and then he told Yudhishthir Maharaj to go and tell Dronacharya that Ashwathama is dead. Incidentally, the name of Dronacharya's son is also Ashwathama. But then when Yudhishthir Maharaj went, he told that Ashwathama hataha narova kunjarova. That means Ashwathama is dead. I don't know whether it is a person, man Ashwathama or elephant Ashwathama. And after that, Dronacharya gave up fighting and sat for meditation, etc. So this Ashwathama elephant also comes from Ujjain, Avantika Dham. Also, it is recorded in the history. All the Krishna resides here, but in his Prakata pastimes, he came here 3 times, which is recorded. First for Vidyarjana, that means for education in the ashram of Sandipani Muni, where he learned 64 arts in 64 days. Then second, to kidnap his to-be wife Mitravinda. To win her hand, Krishna came here in Ujjain. And third, when Arjuna was in Agyatavas, he was worshipping Indra. So Indra gave him a deity of Suryadev. So Arjuna wanted to install the deity of Suryadev, and therefore he invited Krishna for installation here in Avantika. And Krishna blew conch shell here just to announce an auspicious event to install the deity. So these are some names and some participants from Ujjain who took part in historical events mentioned in Mahabharata. Also, this place has 9 Narayanas, Nava Narayanas. Also, 7 oceans are Vishnu Sagar, and so many. Also, here we will find Mahakalavan. We will hear about Mahakaleshwar also shortly, which is a Leela Sthali of Lord Shiva. Just like Mathura is Leela Sthali of Lord Krishna, this Mahakalavan is Leela Sthali of Lord Shiva. So in Satyayuga, Sati, she burnt herself in Agni Kunda in Daksha Yagya. So Lord Shiva became very angry because her father Daksha, because of him, Sati had to burn herself. So Lord Shiva came there at place of sacrifice, and he cut the head of Daksha, and he carried that head of Daksha everywhere. And when he came here at Avantika, the residents requested him to stay here eternally, and therefore that time he gave up that head of Daksha and resided here. And there are 84 Mahadev temples here, prominent temples. As such, it is mentioned that there are so many temples of Lord Mahadev here that if you carry a bag of rice and if you just offer 1 grain of rice at every Shivling, still your bag will be over, but the Shivlingas will not be over. So that many Shivlingas are present in Avantika Dham. But there are prominent 84 Mahadevas, and it is mentioned that one who visits these 84 Shivlingas, they will not take birth into 84 lakh species of life again. That means they will be liberated. So now we will be hearing about the very prominent river here, which is Mother Kshipra. So this Kshipra river, she is considered a river from Vaikuntha Loka directly. So this Avantika is called as Vishnu Pada. Vishnu Pada means lotus feet of Vishnu. And since this Avantika flows inside this Vishnu Pada, from the Vishnu Pada, lotus feet of Vishnu, and we know that who flows from lotus feet of Vishnu? Mother Ganga. And because of which, and Avantika is considered lotus feet of Vishnu. And this Kshipra river is flowing from there. Therefore, Kshipra river is not different from Mother Ganga. That is understood. And it is mentioned that Kshipra Kshipretiyo Bruyat. One who chants Kshipra river's name, Kshipra, Kshipra, like that. What happens? Muchyate sarva papebhyo, is freed from all the sins, and Shiva Loka Madi Gachati, he goes to the Loka of Lord Shiva. And therefore it is mentioned that there are 3 great rivers and 3 different things are done there. which grants liberation. Mother Ganga, taking bath in Mother Ganga, Ganga Snanam. Then Narmada Darshanam, just by seeing Mother Narmada, one gets liberation. And Kshipra Kirtanam, that means by chanting Kshipra's name, even from the distance, one gets liberation. And Kshipra Devi is abounding Avantika Nagari, just like a bracelet or armlet binds one's hand. So there are four names of Mother Kshipra. First name is Kshipra, of course. So what happened is Devatithi, who is the father-in-law of Vasishtha Muni, he gave his daughter to Vasishtha, and while giving daughter to Vasishtha, he has to give his Kanya Dan. So he has to put water in Vasishtha's hand. So that water fell in this place, and therefore this, and from that water came this river. Therefore, she is a very holy river named as Kshipra. Once, second pastime of this river is, once Lord Shiva was begging everywhere and he was not getting any alms, so he went to Vishnu Dham ultimately. And Lord Vishnu was begged by Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu showed a finger, index finger to him. And Shiva hit that index finger, and blood came out because Shiva wanted that alms from Vishnu, and so that blood fell from Lord Vishnu's finger, and that blood was converted into Kshipra river. Therefore, also this place is also considered a very holy place. Then another instance is, place is also called as Jwaragni Nadi. So why this place is called Jwaragni Nadi? So there is an instance in Srimad Bhagavatam where Banasur is a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So he pleased Lord Shiva with playing the drums with his 1,000 hands. Lord Shiva asked him to ask for some benediction. Banasur said, "Let me have fight with Vishnu." So Lord Shiva granted him. And when Banasura's daughter Usha, she kidnapped Aniruddha by mystic power, and both were having pastimes. So Banasur became very angry. So he captured Aniruddha, and Lord Krishna, to save his grandson, he fought with Banasura. And Banasura was a devotee of Shiva. So Lord Shiva sided Banasura, and there was a fierce battle between Lord Shiva, the Bholenath, and Krishna. So Lord Krishna, uh, he applied this Vaishnav Astra, and then Lord Shiva applied Pashupatastra. Lord Shiva applied through Mohanastra on Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva became unconscious, and then he woke up and he sent a Shiva Jwara weapon to attack Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna sent Vaishnava Jwara weapon. And these two weapons are actually personalities. They fought with each other. Then Shiva Jwara became so fearful and so tired that Shiva Jwara came to Kshipra river, took bath, and it got completely pacified and went to Shiva Loka. Seeing that, Vaishnava Jwar also took bath in Avantika, and it also got pacified and it went to Vishnu Loka. So like that it is mentioned, this place is, because it killed the fatigue of both the Jwaras, therefore it is called as Jwaragni. That means the fatigue is removed here, and therefore it is mentioned that whoever takes bath here, he won't be affected by fever, as they say. This place is also called as Papagni. This Kshipra river is called as Papagni because there was one king named Kikata. In Gaya, there was one Kikata Raj, who was a very demoniac king. And one time, he was bitten by one snake, and the king died on the spot. And the dead body of this king was lying on the ground, and one crow came and he snatched some flesh of this king, and while carrying that flesh in his beak, it crossed the Kshipra river, and it dropped by mistake. He dropped that piece of flesh into Kshipra, and as soon as he dropped it, immediately the king who was dead, he got liberation. So therefore, this Kshipra river, also called as Papagni. Also, she is known as Amrutodbhava. Why? Because in Naglok, there are 21 Amruta Kundas, the pots of nectar. And Lord Shiva, when he went there, he drank all 21 kundas of nectar. And all the Naglok Vasis, the Nagas, they went to Brahmaji and they prayed, "Oh Lord Shiva drank everything. Now all of our kundas are empty." So Lord Brahma said, "You go to Lord Shiva, you go to Mahakalavan and you pray to them." So they went to Mahakalavan, which is Avantika, and they prayed to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva told them that, "Do not worry, take the water of Kshipra and fill your Amrita Kundas, and they will be as good as this Amrita Kunda." So that's how we see here that also for Vaishnavas, this Kshipra river is very, very important because she is also known as Leena Ganga. Why? Because Lord Varahadev, when he was uplifting Mother Earth, this Jai Vijay, they fell and became Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Thus, this Hiranyaksha, he collected all the gold from Earth's surface, and because of imbalance of Earth fell to Rasatal. And when Varahadev appeared, he just went inside and he just, with his uh, tusk, he lifted Mother Earth. But because of this endeavor, uh, a stream of sweat came flowed from his heart, and that sweat became Mother Kshipra. The river Kshipra was the sweat of Varahadev, and that's why this place is also very important for Vaishnavas. So then there are 12 Jyotirlingas, uh, and one of them is this uh, Mahakaleshwar, which is also Jyotirlinga. So this Mahakaleshwar, it is mentioned about 12 Jyotirlingas. What are the 12 Jyotirlingas? Saurashtre Somanatham, Shrishailae Mallikarjunam, Ujjainya Mahakalam, Omkaram Parameshwaram, Kedaram Himasya Prushte, Dakinyam Abhishankaram, Varanasyam to Vishweshwaram, Triambakam Gautami Tate, Vaidyanatham Chita Bhumau, Nagesham Darukavane, Setu Bande to Rameshwaram, Vishwesham cha Shivalaya. So there are so many. In Saurashtra, there is Somnath, which is Jyotirlinga. Then Sri Shaila, there is Mallikarjun Jyotirlinga. In Ujjain, there is Mahakaleshwar Jyotirlinga, Omkareshwar Jyotirlinga. Then there is Kedarnath Jyotirlinga, Abhishankara. Then there is Vishweshwara, which is in Varanasi. Then there is Vaidyanath in Chitabhumi. Then there is Nagesha in Darukavan. Then at Setubandha, there is Rameshwar Jyotirlinga and Vishwesha in Shivalaya. So like that. And it also mentioned in Shiva Puran, Akashe Tarakam Lingam Patale Hatakeshwaram Mrityuloke Mahakala Lingatrayam Namostute. So like that there are so many 12 Jyotirlingas, Dwadasha Jyotirlingas. In that, this Avantika Jyotirlinga is one. So also from astronomical point of view, this place is very important because Sri Lanka, Ujjain, Kurukshetra, and Mount Sumeru, they lie in one line. So therefore, this place is also important for calculation of time, etc. The astrological calculation of time. So how Mahakal came here? That means Lord Shiva came here. So there was one demon whose name was Dushana. So he had conquered 3 planets, But in Ujjain, there lived four Brahmanas whom he could not conquer. So he tried a lot. He sent his generals, but they couldn't conquer these four Brahmanas. Then he came himself and he took his sword to kill the Brahmanas. And immediately the earth parted and Lord Shiva came right from the inside the earth, and he just immediately he he killed those that Dushana Rakshas. And the Brahmanas were very pleased. And Lord Shiva asked the Brahmanas that please ask benediction from me. And then this Brahmana said that please stay here as Mahakaleshwar and bless this place. And from that day onward, Lord Shiva stayed here. Also, there is another pastime here of Mahakaleshwar, the eighth ancestor of Nanda Maharaj. So there was one king was living at that time, Chandrasen, and he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He was doing Mahakaleshwar worship. So there was one widow who came there with her 5-year-old son, and the son saw the king doing the worship of the Shivling, and he thought that I will also worship Shiva, and he made a Shivling out of earth. And when his mother saw him doing it, she scolded him, and he became unconscious. And when he came back to consciousness, he saw himself inside this Mahakaleshwar temple, and he saw his mother lying on a very beautiful uh, beautiful bed made up of many precious jewels. And at that time, hearing that king came there, and even Hanumanji appeared there, and he said that this boy is so fortunate that his eighth, the predecessor, his eighth successor will become the father of Krishna. And who is that eighth successor? He is Nanda Maharaj himself. So this is mentioned in Shiva Puran, Rudra Samhita. So this Mahakaleshwar temple was there 8 generations before Nanda Maharaj. So from that point, it is there. So this next we will see how this Mahakaleshwar is worshipped, because he is Bhutanath. He was earlier worshipped by uh, taking the ash from crematorium and putting it on his all over his body. But later on, some devotees of Lord Shiva changed this tradition, and now they are putting only. You can see in the picture how they are putting. This is the ash from burning cow dung cakes. This is not ash from crematorium. Earlier they used to put ash from crematorium, but now they are putting ash from cow dung, burning the cow dung cakes. In the picture you can see. Also, it is mentioned that there is one Mahamrutyunjay worship happens there, and this Mahamrutyunjay worship is mantra chanting for Lord Shiva, and it is mentioned that if one is on deathbed and if he chants this Mahamrutyunjay mantra for this Mahakaleshwar Mahadev, then immediately he comes back to life. Then also there is very beautiful procession of Lord Shiva that takes place, which is called a Shahi Savari of Mahakaleshwar. You can see in the picture that there are so many beautiful procession taking place, and that procession takes place at evening. Just like there is Jagannath Ratha Yatra takes place, procession for Lord Jagannath. Similarly, this is procession for Lord Shiva. In Bhagavatam also it is mentioned that when Diti is asking Kashyap to have union at the time of evening, Kashyapa says this is a very inauspicious time. Esha Ghoratama Vela. Etasyam Sandhyayam Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavana. Lord Shiva is wandering with ghosts and others for punishing those who are engaged in sinful activities. So, therefore, this procession is taking place at evening. So then we talk about the very special also event that takes place here, which is Kumbh Snana. So this is called a Simvasta Kumbha Snan. It is mentioned that Kartik Snan, if you multiply 100 times, Magha Snan, if you multiply 1,000 times, Narmada Snan, if you multiply 1 crore times, that is like one Kumbha Snan at Avanti. So 4 incarnations took place while the churning of milk ocean took place. There is Kurma avatar, then there is Kachapa avatar, there is Mohini avatar, and there is Dhanvantari avatar, like that. And when son of Indra was carrying the nectar, and then few drops of nectar fell in Ujjain, few in Haridwar, few in Prayag, and few in Nasik. Therefore, all this place, this Kumbh Mela takes place. So there is one relationship of this Avantika place also with Jagannath Puri, apart from the procession and all. Uh, that Jagannath Puri uh, temple was made by King Indradyumna in Satya Yuga. So by the effect of time, this temple was buried under ground, and later king started claiming that I made this temple. Then this Indradyumna, who resided in Avanti, actually, his capital was Avanti. This Indradyumna, although he made a temple in Jagannath Puri, his capital was Avanti. So there is one Kaka Bhushandi Crow who also resided in Avanti. He went to Jagannath Puri and he told all people that no, king, you are not you have not made the construction of this temple. Indradyumna made it. So that's how these two, both of them came from Avanti Nagari. Then also there is uh, this is also one of the 51 Shakti Pithas. Why it is called a Shakti Pitha? Because when Lord Shiva, he destroyed the head of Daksha in the sacrifice. Because Mother Sati, actually Mother Sati, uh, she is wife of Lord Shiva and daughter of Daksha. So Daksha, he was envious of Lord Shiva, so he did not pay respect to Lord Shiva, did not even invite his own daughter Sati to the yajna that he was performing, and invited all the other daughters, like the 21, 27 daughters were given to Moon. So those were invited who are all sisters of Sati. So Sati requested Shiva that, oh, let's go and go to our father's place. But Shiva told her, no, 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 you are not invited. Why do you go? So she says, no, 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 those were so close. They did not, they don't need invitation. Let me go. So she goes there and Daksha insults her, and mainly he insults Lord Shiva, and that is not tolerated by Mother Sati. So she burns herself in the fire, and Lord Shiva becomes very angry. He comes to that place and cuts the head of Daksha, and he carries the remnant, the remaining, the burnt body of Sati, who is dead. And like a illusioned madman, he starts wandering everywhere. And to bring him out of illusion, Lord Vishnu has to take his Sudarshan Chakra and cut this dead body of Sati into many, many pieces, 51 pieces. And these 51 pieces fell into 51 different places. And therefore, they are known as Shakti Pithas, which are very holy places. So, so many devotees of Lord Shiva, they come to Lord Shiva and they make a sound like this, something like that. So why do they do that? Because the idea behind it, that is by doing like that, they're trying to say to Lord Shiva that we are like that goat, uh, that Daksha's head was cut and goat's head was put. So we are that ignorant like that goat. So therefore they make this kind of sound, and so therefore please, we are fallen, please forgive us, like that they are praying to Shiva. So if you are wondering why they make this kind of sound, this is the story behind it, and this is the mood behind it. So there is also uh, there is also a place which is where this is a place where even uh, Kalidas spread to this place. It is a Shakti Peeth, and he got his. You will see that story later, where how he gets his power as being the very great scholar of Sanskrit. So this is how uh, there was two demons who were Chanda and Prachanda, who came to uh, disturb Lord Shiva, and Mother Parvati actually killed these demons, and because of which Lord Shiva becomes very pleased, and he said that you did my job of killing demons. Therefore, I give you name Hara Siddhi. Therefore, there is also a place known as Hara Siddhi. Uh, this is Durgaji's temple, and you can also see it in the picture. And then there is a temple of Kala Bhairav, which is also a very holy place here. So, what is the story behind Kala Bhairav? One time, Brahmaji was he was very proud that he is creator and uh, he is the one who created. So all the demigods told him, no, actually, Lord Vishnu is the creator, original creator. You are just creating what is already being created. But he said, no, 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 I am the creator. And because of this ahankar, he developed another head, which is called as false ego head. And all this was reported to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva came there, saw that Lord Brahma has developed another head because of his false ego. So with his nail of his little finger, he just cut off the head of that head of Brahma, and because of which Shivji got the patak of Brahma Hatya, and he wanted, it's all Leela of course. So he wanted to relieve that patak, and he came at Avantika place, and he stayed here as Kala Bhairav. And folklore is that many offer liquor here to Lord Shiva here, and it is mentioned that Lord Shiva also accepts this liquor, uh, and because Teji Asam na hi doshaya, one who is so powerful he can digest anything. Mm. So also there are many Kapalikas who used to worship here in 8th century. They were mantriks and tantriks. They also used to offer, because they started offering liquor. But the scholars say that offering liquor to Shiva doesn't is not to encourage drinking liquor, but it's just that giving up liquor. It symbolizes, oh, I won't drink liquor now. It is offered to Shiva now. So that is the idea behind it. And this place was ruled by the king named Vikramaditya. And this Vikramaditya has elder brother whose name was Bhartrhari. He was very famous Bhartrhari. So he was a very great king, pious king, but he was very attached to his third queen, whose name was Pingala. So one time in his kingdom, one Brahmana was doing tapasya. He got one fruit of his tapasya, and the demigod said that if you eat this fruit, you will become youthful forever. So he told his wife about this. The Brahmani said, "Oh, we are so poor. What will we do by just becoming young? So better you give it to the king, who was Bhartrhari that time." So the fruit was given to Bhartrhari, and Bhartrhari then gave it to his wife, dear wife, who was this Pingala. And this Pingala had affair with one general, so she gave it to this general, and the general gave it. He had affair with one prostitute, so he gave it to prostitute. Prostitute thought, why should I become young forever? Because all the rascal men will exploit me. So better I should give it to the pious king. May his life increase. So she gave it back to Bhartrhari. So Bhartrhari, he became so renounced after that, so disgusted with this abominable affair that you know yeah, that happens in this material world. So he became Vairagi, and therefore he went to a gufa here, which is known as Bhartrhari Gufa. He wrote Vairagya Shatak. In that he says that Yam Chintayami Satatam Maisa Virakta Apyanyam Ichchati Janam Sa Janonyat Satta Asmacha Paritushyati Kachidanya Diktam Chatam Cha Madanam Cha Imam Cha Mam Cha. So he says that, oh, I am remembering some woman, she is remembering some man. That man is remembering some other woman, and that woman is remembering me. So what the hell is going on with this? So he says that to hell with this Cupid, who makes others engage in sinful acts. To hell with one whom I loved. To hell with the one she loved. To hell with the one whom he loved and she loved and everything, and to hell with me also. So like that he became Virakta. This is Bhartruhari's cave, and his nephew also came here and he also did tapasya. Then there is one place known as Siddhavat. Hmm. The Siddhavat, you can see in the picture, there is Siddhavat Mandir also. So Mother Parvati, she planted this tree here after the birth of Kartikeya, after Tarakasur Vadh. And anyone who dies untimely, he comes here, offers obeisances and puja, etc., and he prays here. Then he is freed from all the uh, one who has died, his relatives. If they perform some rites here, then they uh, that the departed soul is saved from bhuta yoni and other kinds of ghostly species. And then there is this place is very very famous for a very special place, because this place is none other than Sandipani Muni's ashram. So this Sandipani, he is a very exalted personality, because Lord Krishna and Lord Balram took uh, education from him. Although Lord Krishna and Lord Balram don't require any education, but just to please his devotees and just to set an example, they went to Gurukula. Vasudev Devki, they put Krishna in Gurukul and sent him here, sent both of them here, and they teach. Krishna Balram teach. This place is very special because Krishna Balram teach how to serve Guru here. So we can take this inspiration from this place, how we can serve our spiritual master. Hmm. So this place is the Sandipani Muni. When he went from Prabhas, his son disappeared in Prabhas, and he was a very great devotee of Lord Shiva, Sandipani. So he prayed to Sarveshwar Mahadev, whose picture you can see in the PPT. So the Sarveshwar Mahadev, he he pleased him with Bilva Patra and Bilva fruit, and Sarveshwar Mahadev told him that now you open a Gurukul at your place. Krishna Balram directly will become your students, and they will give you back your son. And then he came to his place, he opened a Gurukul, and sure enough, Krishna Balram came here to learn from him. And they thought that why our Guru every day leaves this place for 2 hours, because morning time is very special place for special time for learning, and this time Guru is going somewhere. So they find out that their Guru Sandipani is going to Gomati river to do his sandhya in the morning, and because of which 2 hours they have to stay. Although he goes by yogic power, still it takes 2 hours for him. And so they miss their studies. So Krishna Balram think that how can we tell that our Guru that we will bring Gomati here? So next time they tell their Guru Sandipani that next time you go to Gomati, just leave your chappals, that means leave your footwear and your kamandalu, the water pot there. That is our request. So Sandipani Puni does that, and he comes back, and next day they show him a kunda, which is now known as Gomati Kunda. You can see that in the picture. And they say that, Gomati river herself came. She wanted to serve you. So she came with your footwear and your kamandalu. Here is your footwear and kamandalu. So please believe us that she is Gomati river directly. So Sandipani Muni then doesn't go to Gomati. He just does his Gayatri at Gomati Kund every day. And Krishna Balram get there more time with their Guru. So then after their studies is over, uh, they offer Guru Dakshina. This is earlier days. After studies are over, then they offer Guru Dakshina according to their own ability. Sudama also learned from Sandipani, but what he could offer, he was poor Brahmana, so he offered whatever Krishna brought of many lotuses. So Sudama just gave the lotuses at the lotus feet of his Guru, and that Guru Dakshina was appreciated by Sandipani Muni. So then Guru Patni, so that is Sandipani's wife, she heard that Krishna returned Devaki's son to her. So she requested Krishna Balaram, my son is also lost. Can you bring him to me? So then Krishna Balaram go to the ocean. They order ocean. Oh, Samudra, give the son of our Guru back. Samudradev comes with folded hands. He says that, no, 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 I don't have it. There is one Shankasur residing in me. Maybe he might have taken it. So they fight with Shankasur. That they kill Shankasur, but yet, so they obtain Panchajanya from him. But there is no son with Shankasur. Then they go to Yamapuri, Sanyamani, and they ask Yamaraji. Yamaraji falls at their feet and he says that, what should I do for you? They say that, can you bring our sons, our Guru's son back? So Yamaraj happily brings them back, and uh, when the son is returned to the Guru as Guru Dakshina, then Guru Patni and Guru become very happy. And when king of that place also comes there, seeing this miracle, and Krishna tells them, Adya Prabhuti Lokesha Desha Macharanankite Avantyam Ankapadyakhe Mruta Nechantite Yamam. I give this benediction that since this place is beautified by my lotus footprints, therefore anyone who comes here will not go to the kingdom of Yama. Vallabhacharya. You will see in the picture, there is Vallabhacharya Baitak. He did 73rd Bhagavad Katha here, 73rd big meeting of Vallabha Sampradaya was held here. He did a big Bhagavad Katha here. And this place, also Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur came to this place. And he said that there should be a place, guest house for all Vaishnavas to stay here. And after long time, Vaishnava's desire was fulfilled by his spiritual son's son, that is Srila, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, who with great efforts collected the permission from the government, collected the land, collected the manpower, and made this beautiful ISKCON Ujjain temple by the great efforts of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. There is Shri Radha Madan Mohan temple, Radha Madan Mohan Dev deities, Lalita Vishaka, you can see in the picture. Also there is Krishna Balaram standing so beautifully, gorgeously dressed. Then there is Lord Narsimhadev, almost looks like Narsimhadev of Mayapur, and also Srila Prabhupada, of course. And here is His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. You can see his picture, and by his great efforts. So we are so very grateful to His Holiness for creating such a big temple and being such a great inspiration for all of us. Here is Bhakti Charu Maharaj with Ujjain Goshala feeding fodder to the cows. You can see in the picture. And then this place is also very known as Jantar Mantar Vedashala. We already discussed that how this place, it became the place of astrological calculations, and therefore it is called as Jantar Mantar. Also Kalidas was blessed here by Mother Kali. And then there is Gopal Mandir, you can see here in the picture. This Gopal Mandir is made by Daulat Rao Scindia's wife, and you see a silver door also here. So that silver door is actually stolen by Mahmud Ghazni, and he took it by invading Somnath temple, and then later on Malhar Rao Holkar won it back from Mahmud Ghazni, and he installed that silver door here. And also you will see that this place was ruled by Vikramaditya, King Vikramaditya, and he was very famous. Actually speaking, there was one Pishach who was staying here, whose name was Angiya Betal, and he used to eat whoever was the king of Ujjain. He used to eat that king, and therefore he used to be only a one-day king. But then Vikramaditya broke that record. When he became king, he immediately made arrangements for this in Angya Betal, and he became very pleased. And Vikramaditya said, "Stop killing the kings now. I will make arrangement for your food every day." And he became one of the 9 Navaratnas of his court. Hmm. So 9 Ratnas of Vikramaditya's court are as follows: Dhanvantari, who was a doctor; Kshapanaka, who was a Darshana Shastrajna; Amar Simha, who wrote Amar Kosh, which is the Sanskrit dictionary; Shanku, who is a Shiksha Shastri; Vetal Bhatta, that means this Vetal, Pishach. He became expert in Mantra, Tantra, and Niti. Then Bhatta Karpara, he became a Kavi. Then Kalidas, he is also Kavi, who wrote many Abhijnana Shakuntalam, Kiratarjaniyam, Raghuvansham, like that, many poetries. Varaha Mihir, who was astrologer, who wrote Surya Siddhanta. Then Vararuchi, who was a grammarist. So like that, many famous stories are there. Vetal Panchvishi and Simhasana Battishi about the throne of Vikramaditya, etc. So these are all folklores about Vikramaditya. Also, there is one Krishna Sudama Mandir here, and which is a unique temple because only Krishna and Sudamas are there as a very special place here. So, so this is a place where it reminds us of the great friendship between Krishna and Sudama. So Krishna and Sudama, actually speaking, when they were in Gurukul, then the Gurukul's law was that all the students will only arrange for the the fuel that was required for yagya, fuel that was required for cooking. So Krishna and Sudama were never sent by Sandipani Muni to the jungle, but one time Sandipani was out of the place. So his wife asked that who is supposed to go now. So all the students took advantage and they said, "Hey, these two never went. It is their turn now. Send them now." So these two, Krishna and Sudama, were sent, and they went to the jungle to collect the dry wood which is fallen, the branches, and it is mentioned. It's a folklore. It mentions that the Guru Patni gave two palmfuls of chana to them, to Sudama, one for Krishna and one for Sudama. And when they were hungry, it was when they went to the forest and it was dark and it was raining and they lost their way. They went inside, deep inside the forest. Krishna climbed up the tree. Sudama was resting at the base of the tree, and and uh, and Sudama felt very hungry, so he ate his palmful of chana, uh, peanuts, that, and then uh, he uh, he was asked, when he started eating the second one. Krishna asked from up, "Hey, what is this sound that I am hearing? Sound of the teeth, kudum kudum." So Sudama said, "No, no, because of the cold, I am shivering." So like that. So because he spoke the lie, therefore he became beggar and poor, like that they say as a folklore. It's not uh, mentioned in the scriptures though. So anyway, Krishna Sudama had a very tight friendship, and when next day their guru Sandipani came looking for them, and he started loudly chanting Narayan, Narayan. And now you see in the picture there is one Narayan Dham, Narayan. This place started. They started calling this place only Narayana. Uh, so and then this at this place only you will see that Krishna Sudama became very thirsty. So Krishna, with his arrow, he made a kunda here, and they made their pile of woods, and that both piles they were kept here at this place, and both are ever fresh, and many trees started growing from these two piles. And today also you will see champa, juhi, chameli, these many flowers. One is called Krishna Muli, another is called Sudama Muli. Still they are very fresh and very fragrant. And finally we will see a place which is called as Mangalanath Mandir. You can see that in the picture. So it is mentioned that Mangala planet is born from Mother Earth. So Mangala is the son of Mother Earth. So how this happened? there was one demon named Andhakasur who started fighting with Lord Shiva. And Andhakasur has a benediction that whatever drop of blood falls on the ground, that many Andhakasurs will be created. So Lord Shiva is fighting with him, and many Andhakasurs were born from it. Lord Shiva is killing them. Then again many are more are born. So Mother Kali takes this task. So she drinks whatever blood is about to fall. She drinks that blood, but still some drops are falling. So those drops are collected by Mother Earth by parting, and one big lump, it absorbed all that blood of this Andhakasur, and because of which it became very reddish, and that stone became the Mangal planet itself. Hmm. So therefore, there is Bhumi Devi Mandir here, Mangala Nath Mandir here, and all these temples are residing on the banks of Kshipra river. So also you will see, we'll just briefly go. There is one Triveni Shani Mandir here. There is Rama Ghat here. There is Koti Tirtha Kunda here. You can see in the picture. You can also see Narsimha Ghat here. Then you can also see Shri Ankureshwar Mahadev here. And finally, you can see Khade Nandi. That means at other places you will find Nandi, the carrier of Lord Shiva, sitting. But here you will find the Nandi who is standing pose. So these are very special places at Ujjain Dham, and so we can pray to this dham, that just by hearing about this dham we may get purified, and this Ujjain Dham may bless us, Mahakaleshwar Shiva may bless us, Sandipani, and other holy places here, Kshipra river, all of them we can pray for their blessings, and so that we can get purified and we can perform better devotional service under the feet of Radha Krishna, Gaur Nitai, and Srila Prabhupada. So thank you so much for patiently listening. Hare Krishna.
RG Media YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe.